Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Shalina and I would like to introduce the topic of this group discussion, which is about the 5 domains of early childhood development. When used in relation to human development, the word domain refers to specific aspects of growth and change. The major domains of development are physical, cognitive, language, and social emotional. Children often experience a significant and obvious change in one domain at a time. For example, if a child is focusing on learning to walk, which is the physical domain, you may not notice as much language development or new words until they have mastered walking. Now let's understand the 5 domains of early childhood development. Although children progress at different rates, there are a number of key milestones each individual should hit as they develop. When a deficiency is recorded, early intervention services can be administered to try to minimize or limit the effects of a suspected intellectual or developmental disability. To determine eligibility for early intervention, a child will either receive a qualifying diagnosis, such as an autism, or display 25% or greater delay in one or more of the 5 domains of development. These include physical, cognitive, communicative, socio-emotional, and adaptive. Now let's take a glance at each of these areas. The 5 domains of early childhood development. Number one is physical. This domain involves the senses such as taste, touch, sight, smell, hearing, and proprioception or bodily awareness of one's orientation in space, including gross motor skills. Professor Nirmal, do you know what gross motor skill is?
Yes, I know. Wait, uh, okay, 5, motor skill, right? Major, movement involving large musculars.
Muscles. Okay,
Muscle.
that's right. Okay, and fine motor skills involving small muscles. Human develop physical ability directionally from top to bottom and the center outward. A baby will at first have the ability to turn the head and sit upright before being able to reach, grab, and eventually walk and run as they progress into toddlerhood, 2 to 3 years. Next is cognitive. The cognitive domain of development refers to the ability to mentally process information, to think, reason, and understand what's happening around you. Developmental psychologist Jean Piaget divided cognitive development into 4 distinct stages. During the sensory motor stage of cognitive development, 0 to 2 years, humans are essentially limited to perceiving the world on a purely sensory level. By the time a child reaches the pre-operational stage, 2 to 6 years, he or she beginning to incorporate language into his or her analysis of people and surroundings. Prior to hitting puberty, a child should have arrived in the concrete operational stage 7 to 11 years, where he or she can process events and information at face value, but will still generally not be able to accommodate abstracts or hypotheticals. Persons 12 years and up are said to be in the formal operational stage, able to perform the intricate mental gymnastics that make human beings so remarkable. Dr. Tina, what is the most important domain for early childhood development?
Thank you for the question, Dr. Salina. Okay, the connective domain is the one that children development in order to understand cause that effects. So this sort of skill will also aid in early math skill such as counting and recognizing pattern.
Thank you, Dr. Tina. That's a really good point. Next is about communicative. There is 4 aspects of language development are phonology. The first one is performing a language constituent sounds into words. Second, syntax, which is fitting those words together into sentences according to language rules and conventions. The third one, semantics, meaning and shades of meaning. And lastly, pragmatics, which is how the language is applied, practical and interpersonal communication. Professor Nirmal, tell me why communication development is important in early childhood.
Okay, good question, Dr. Shalina. Okay, communication skills are vital not only for children and cognitive and conceptual development, but for their social, emotional, and culture awareness and understanding. So, learning how to use different language and communication model helps children to learn about their own culture and the cultures of other. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor Nirmal. That's a really good point. The fourth one is socio-emotional. As a child develops within the socio-emotional dimension, he or she learns how to successfully regulate his or her own internal emotional state and read the social cues of others. Strong emotions can be controlled or expressed properly. Confrontation can be managed without violence. We can involve empathy toward others. Dr. Tina, what factors influence social emotional development in childhood?
Thank you for question. Okay, social emotional development influenced by 3 central factors. Number 1 is biology, including genetic and temperaments, environment, including socio-economics, status, and support, and a relationship. Thank you.
Thank you for your reply, Dr. Tina. Lastly is adaptive. Adaptive development refers to the self-care component of growing up, taking care of things like eating, drinking, toileting, and bathing, and also getting dressed independently without the help of others. It also entails being aware of one's environment and any hazards it may pose, keeping oneself safe and protected. A child should have made significant progress in these areas before his or her. Professor Nirmal, what is the adaptive task for the development stage for early childhood?
Okay, Dr. Shalina, adaptive development or self help development refers and to how a child adapt to the environment and the ability to do things independently. So, some of the skills assisted with adaptive self-care include drinking from bottle, cups, feeding, and dressing, and avoiding avoiding and then common dangers. So,
Thank you, Professor Nirmal. Thank you. That's a really good point.
evening everyone. I am Dr. Nirmal. Today we gathered to do forum, and then title is about dominance of child growth and development. Okay, the first we're going to talk about major domains in child development. So guys, what is major domain in child development? Let's I explain more about it. Okay, major domain in child development. Okay, the term domain refer to specific aspect of growth and charge in relation to human development, physical, cognitive, language, and social emotional development are the most important area of development. At any given time, children frequently experience significant and abuse charged in one domain. For instance, if a child is concentrating on learning to talk, work, which fall under the physical domains, you might not notice as much language development or the development of new words until the child has mastered working. During various stages of a child's life, it may appear as taught only one domain in undergoing development charge. However, charge type calling occurs in the other domain as well, ability more gradually and less prominently. Physical development. The physical domain incorporates the formation of physical charge, such as expanding in size and strength, and developing both growth and fine motor skills. The physical domain also encompass the formation of the senses and their use. When they are young, children are learning how to use their finger in conjunction with the eyes to perform variety from action like grabbing, uh, releasing, and reaching, pitching, and turning the wrists. And it's possible that the mini muscles movements would come early at first because they make time to develop. So, children who lack their five motor abilities many find in this difficult to button their closer, pick up the finger food, use and utils for milk, use the bathroom, or wash their hand. Children learn to use their large muscles, such as the in their arm, leg, back, and stomach, in addition to their five motor skill. So, walking, sprinting, throwing, lifting, pulling, pushing, and kicking are all corporeal movements that include a balance, strength, and body awareness. Your child can control and move their body in a variety of wide thanks for to their abilities. And by offering opportunities for age-appropriate activities, parents can aid in their child physical development. So, to develop their neck and upper body strength, for instance, a baby's frequent regular tummy time, but preschool and school age children requires to a lot of opportunities to move around and play. Even parents and teenagers requires regular opportunities for exchange. You should ignore your child requirements for five motor skill developed in the meanwhile. So, give children opportunities to use their hand and finger from an early age. So, give your infant to with handless, such as softball and roulette toys. Then later also always children to pick object up and solve them into solve beneficial from for testing early abilities. So teach children how to use their hand and finger to handle pencil buttons and use sensory and perform other tasks and they get older. Nutrition and design can also have an impact on a person's physical development. So to encourage normal child development, make sure your children get nutritious food and underage around health security and cognitive development. The cognitive domains involve uh, security. Yes, Tina, open your mic.
Dr. Nima,
Yes.
I have the question.
Okay.
Dr. Nima, you can explain how many stage in cognitive development?
Okay, the good question, Dr. Shalina. How many explain that, right? Okay. And the first totally four stage. So first sensory motor stage, birth to age 2, pre-fractional stage, age 2 to 7, concrete operational stage, age 7 to 11, and then the last formal operational stage, age 12 and up.
Okay. Thank you for the answer. And Dr. Nima, you can explain what are the stage in cognitive development?
Okay. Sensory stage, birth to age 2. During this stage, movement and sensation are used to learn about the environment. So to learn about the world around them. In fact, and to use understanding skill like sucking, grabbing, looking, and licking. And then pre-operational stage. So age 2 to 7. So make sure children learn to think symbolically and use word to picture to represent things during this stage. So children at this stage enjoy present play, but they still have trouble reasoning and compressing another person point of view. And then concrete operational stage, age 7 to 11. Children is this age start to think more logically, but they many still struggle with abstract thinking and psychological situation. But now is a good time to behind teaching empathy because they are beginning to see this from the perspective of another person. So the last from formal operational stage, age 12 and up. So child's ability to think logically increases during this stage. Additionally, they acquire the capacity from deductive reasoning and understanding of abstract uh, concept. They are also able to think more scientifically about the world around them because more adapt to problem solving by providing your child with opportunities to play with board game, puzzle, and blocks. You can assist them in the develop of their cognitive abilities. In additional, you should creative a setting where your child can freely play and ask questions about the world around them with confidence. By assisting your child in exploring objectives, then they are interested in, you can further and direct in there to learn by teaching them to expect on their thought process and asking them open-ended question. You can improve their thinking and reasoning skill as they get older. So teach them how to be critical media consumer and world where to look from information. Okay, Dr.
Thank you,
Tina.
Dr. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Niman, about the answer.
Okay.
That's all for me. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Tina. Okay. Social and emotional development. The development of a child's and emotional understanding and control are included in the social emotional domain. They also start to understand how other people feel, learn to work together, how empathy and use moral reasoning. So learning how to interact with others and developing achievement to them are included in their domain. So children, for instance, learn to share a rotate and accept other difference. In addition, they form a wide range of relationships, including choose with a peer, teacher, coach, and member of the community as well ability siblings and parents. So during the social emotional stage, children acquire self-knowledge that discover how they identify with a various group and how the neutral temperament which show the relationship. So twins in particular exhibit scientific social emotional development are they learn to maintain long-term relationship and place a greater emphasis on their peer. During this time, parents physically observe scientific improvement in their child's social skill. So look for opportunities from your child to interact with children their age and assist them in forming relationship with both children and adults to help them develop emotionally and socially. So, play dates, play groups, and extracurriculum activities can all be planned. They should also be encouraged to ask with their grandparents, teacher, and coach. And ask your child about their interests and passion and encourage them to identify their strengths and weakness to further a stage of feel world. So learn how to recognize and measure emotional from them. Discuss with them healthy friendship and how to deal with peer process as they get older. You should also not be afraid to talk about difficult topics like consent and sex. Your child overall development is influenced by each of their various social and emotional fates. Okay, the language development. The other development domain are necessary for language development. Children develop their ability to communicate with others at varying rates, but their ability develops for birth. So language feathers include totally four. The first one phonically creating the sound of speech. Grammatic communicating verbal and non-verbal in social situation. Semantics understanding the role of what word means, and syntax using grammar and pulling sentences and together. And next, reading to your child not just at bedtime in one of the most important thing you can do for them in their early years. So make using and getting and charge hour of book of focal pieces of your days. And reading a role to your children to from birth on has a significant impact on their developing in literacy and language skill. Find opportunity to read other thing in additional to book, such interaction or for a board game, letter from family, holiday cards, online atlas, and school newsletters. So child vocabulary is increased and they are better preference to recognize unfamiliar word than they are used in contact when by here new vocabulary word spoken. So make sure you talk to your kids before they can even say a word in additional to reading. So inform them of your upcoming activities for purchase for to store. Engage in the world around them by pointing out worries things. Another great why it improve their child's language skill is to sing to them. Try having regular conversation with your child as they get older, answering the questions and asking them of their thought or business. All of the activities are contributed significantly to the language growth. The last development delay. So correcting a development milestone will be reached by children as they develop and learn. The milestones prove general guidelines that help parents and caregivers determine whether a child to the track. And despite the fact that every child is uniquely and progress at the different rate, there will be significant variation in the precise time a child reached a particular milestone. However, fail to meet one or two millennials can be troubling.
Okay, thank you for Dr. Nima for explanation about the major domain in child development, such as physical development, cognitive development, language, and socio-emotional development for children. Thank you for the explanation, Dr. Nima.
Okay, Dr. Stina, thank you.
Okay. So we are continue about the principle of children development and learning. Okay, I am Dr. Tina. Today I want to explain about the principle of development and learning. Okay, what is the principle cause the growth of the children? Okay, the first the principle of the cause of the growth children development is occur in and occur elderly. This is the mean the children development has their own flow. Okay. For example, okay, this means that the children development has its own flow. For example, the first newborn. After newborn, the baby is rolling. After the rolling, the baby they are crawling. After the crawling, the baby they can sit. After the baby sit, the baby can crawl. After the crawl, the baby can walking. Okay. For the next step of flow, when the children they are start to improve their physical development, such as they use the motor skill and the gross motor. What is the meaning of skill, the fine motor? Fine motor is a skill where the children they use the small muscle, small energy, like drawing, like for example, like drawing, eating, cut the paper, use the scissor, and they are reading. So for the gross motto, what's the gross motto? The gross motto is where the children they use their big muscles to do the activity. Next. Physical, the gross motto, they are the children, they can jump, they can run, they can skipping, they can play, they can go anywhere. And okay, beside that, in terms of in of the children physical of the growth of children, like nutrition, health, and environment. Okay, next is about the learning to play. What is the learning to play? Learning to play is through play is an effective teaching and learning technique for children. This technique will bring pressure and simplification of them in a learning to be developed. Okay, by playing, children will also be able to master development and physical skill as well as language mastery in term, vocabulary, and rules. Okay, according Vygotsky, play can help the children to develop their language and thinking. Play also can give the children the freedom to express their passion and the real world. Okay, what is the play category of children? Play can be divided to domains such as social game and cognitive game. Has category social play. For example, this is learning to through play. Learning to play is where the children has a 6 days for play, where the children can play in occupied play for age 0 until 3 months, when the baby is making movement, their arm, like leg, hands, feet, and they are learning about the discovery, how their body move. Solitary play. Solitary play is for age 2 until 2 years, when a child play alone and are not interested in play with others quiet yet. Onlooker behavior for the children 2 years, when a child watch and observe their children playing but will not play with them. Okay, parallel play for the 2 years as old, when children play alongside or near to others but does not play with them. Also side play, 3 until 4 years, when a children start to interact with others during play, but there is not much cooperation required. For example, kids playing on the playground but doing different things. Cooperative for 4 years, when children play with others and has interest in which the activity other children involved in playing. Okay, the last part is what is the play of category for children? Play can be divided two categories. Okay, what's the cognitive play for children? Has a 3 level and categories of play. First is functional play, constructive play, fantastic play, dramatic play, and regulated play. Okay, for the functional play, experts describe the functional play as a first play for a small child who use something to intern himself. This can include opening and closing things, drawing things, stacking blocks, and knocking them down, pushing a toy here and there, and banging objects together. Okay, for the constructive play is when the children use different material to concrete or build something, also known as construction play. Is often organized and focused on a goal. Okay, next is a fantastic play. Fantastic play is involves pretension and symbolism and greatly erodes a child imaginative capacity. In this type of play, children take on the different role and they are able to examine and understand various types in interpersonal interaction and social situation. Okay, the last is a related play. It's kind of the play where kids on the rule of them out of as way exploring themselves and their surrounding. Pretending to be someone or something else, children can learn new way to express themselves, share through and ideas, and even get in touch with their feeling. Okay, that's all for the explanation for the principal goes to growth to the children from me.
Okay, Dr. Dr. Tina, I have a question. Okay, Dr. Tina.
Yes.
What learning motto are appropriate for children?
What the learning?
What
Mm-hmm.
What learning methods are appropriate for children?
Okay, learning methods are appropriate for children is a learning through play. Learning to play when learning to play have a two category, play category for children and connective play for children.
Okay, Dr. Tina, thank you.
Dr. Tina, what is the play category for the children?
Okay, the category of children. Play can divided two main categories. The first is a social game and cognitive game. The social game where the children they are play with their friends or peer, and then cognitive play when the children they are play with imagination.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you for Dr. Niman and Dr. Salina for the question. Okay, that's all for me. For the explanation, principal cause the growth of the children.
Okay, thank you, doctors.
Thank you.